Well, the allegations against Congressman Conyers, as we have learned more since Sunday, are serious, disappointing, and very credible. It's very sad. The brave women who came forward are owed justice. I pray for Congressman Conyers and his family and wish them well. However, Congressman Conyers should resign. As Dean, Congressman Conyers has served our Congress for more than 5 decades and shaped some of the most consequential legislation of the last half-century. However, zero tolerance means consequences for everyone. No matter how great the legacy, it's no license to harass or discriminate.
My lovely lady lumps. Check it out.
Members on both sides of the aisle are still hesitating to call out members of their own party facing allegations and calls to resign, having to do with sexual harassment and sexual misconduct. Here are 2 Democrats in the House asked about one of their own today, John Conyers.
Other men in other industries have faced similar accusations and gotten out of the way, resigned, stepped down far faster than he has. Right?
You would have to give me some examples.
Harvey Weinstein, Charlie Rose, Matt Lauer.
I don't think they. Who elected that?
Right. I don't think they stepped down.
So it's different because he's elected.
I do want to make sure that you didn't miss that line. James Clyburn, number 3 Democrat in the House, his takeaway after all of that, who elected them? Let that sink in for just a moment.
That was Minority Leader Nancy Pelosi on the House floor yesterday, sending a not-so-subtle message to Congressman John Conyers, the man she called an icon just on Sunday. The 88-year-old lawmaker has been under fire since last week when BuzzFeed News reported that in 2015, Conyers' office paid a former staffer $27,000 after she alleged she was fired for rejecting his sexual advances. Since then, 2 or more accusers have gone public with allegations of misconduct.
He's a very wicked, he's very mean, he's cruel. He's a very cruel person. He demeans people. He demeans people. He makes fun of them. He is a horrible person.
He became increasingly verbally abusive and would berate me loudly and over ridiculous things.
Deanna Mayer worked for Conyers from 1997 to 2005. She alleges that he inappropriately touched her on several occasions and tried to get her to share a hotel room with him in order to have sex. The congressman denies all of these charges, and yesterday his son came out in his defense.
It's very unfortunate to see him fight so long for so many people and to automatically have the allegations assumed true. And of course, with sexual assault, women are to be believed. But in this instance, he has no history of this. And I think that if we're not going to make someone like Al Franken resign, but we have evidence of him groping a woman while she was asleep at that, I should say, I think it's disconcerting to me to see the way my father's being treated after he's given so much to this country. Not just for black people, but for people alike. Fights for everyone.
Congressman Conyers returned home to Detroit Tuesday night following a meeting with the CBC, that is the Congressional Black Caucus members, that included the chairman of the CBC.
There was no intention.
We are not urging John to resign while the ethics investigation is going on. We think that is a decision for he and his family and his constituents to make.
Meanwhile, the House unanimously passed a resolution mandating sexual harassment training for members and their staffs. It is the first of several measures that have been introduced in the wake of the allegations that have rocked the Capitol.
The fact that some people end up walking these halls, are subjected to a threatening or hostile work environment when they came here to serve their country, to serve their ideals, that's wrong. That's a disgrace. We cannot and we will not tolerate that kind of behavior.
I want to discuss this with our panel today, Dr. Julianne Malveaux. What do you make of the Conyers situation versus the Franken situation versus the Roy Moore situation versus the Donald Trump situation?
I'm glad you put them all in the same sentence, because really there are differences and there are similarities. And it's interesting to me that this black man is being treated quite differently than others.
Congressman, late last night, was taken to the hospital, shortness of breath, chest pains, lightheaded, and dizziness. Congressman Conyers was walking around in his home and felt lightheaded, and they rushed him to the hospital. I don't have any further updates as to his condition health-wise, but I will give them to you as they come to me. I also would like to address Nancy Pelosi's statement, which I'm sure all of you all are aware of at this juncture, calling on the congressman to resign. First of all, it is not up to Nancy Pelosi. Nancy Pelosi did not elect the congressman, and she sure as hell won't be the one to tell the congressman to leave. That decision will be completely up to the congressman. He's not thought about that. He's thinking about his health. He's thinking about getting well. That is the main focus of the family. They would ask for their privacy at this time while he is being treated. He is still in the hospital as we speak. There are, to my count, 5 of these allegations against Al Franken. There are 3 or 4 against the congressman. At the end of the day, I would suspect that Nancy Pelosi is going to have to explain what is the discernible difference between Al Franken and John Conyers. That is a question that she is going to have to answer. And again, he is not going to be pressured by Nancy Pelosi or anyone else to step down. The decision will be made by Congressman Conyers as to what his next course is. That will not be today. That will not be tomorrow. The congressman, again, is concerned about his health, just as his family is concerned with his health. And we would ask you all to respect his privacy.
I drive these brothers crazy. I do it on the daily. They treat me really